From the BBC World Service, in association with ABC and All India Radio, this is Stumped.
Hello and welcome to Stumped, your intercontinental hit of news, features and debate from the quirky world of cricket. I'm Alison Mitchell in London, where I'm flipping between nightly matches in the new 100 competition, which has been pulling in some fabulous viewing figures on television, on free-to-air, not least, with a peak of 1.6 million on the BBC for the opening women's game at the Oval, which we talked about on the show last week. I'm also enjoying the Olympics. It's making my mornings very unproductive, though, here with the time difference, I've got to say.
Much better here in Melbourne, Ali. Alister Nicholson from the ABC jumping in for Jim Maxwell this week. Productivity levels have dipped significantly in this country because there's only an hour. The difference between Australia, Melbourne time and Tokyo, and Australia's having a brilliant Olympics as well. Already won 8 gold medals, which is as many as we won in London and also as we won in Rio. So it's a terrific Olympics for an Australian to watch, kick back. Many of us have been in lockdown, so it's pleasurable to see the Australians doing so well. And hopefully that flows onto the Ashes, Ali, as well.
Hello, everybody. This is Charu Sharma for All India Radio. My final day here at the Golf Face Hotel in Colombo. We had a very long 1 month for just 6 white ball matches. Well, finally, I'm packing up and we're ready to go home. Alister, let's not go about this old medal thing because, I feel sorry that India's got only 1 so far. But there is a bit of a time difference. I've been getting up very early in the morning because of some of the hockey action and what have you, and they're still alive there. But we've had some strange goings on here at the end of the series with Krunal Pandya somehow mysteriously contacting COVID, and that meant that a whole lot of Indian players had to be isolated, which left the coach Rahul Dravid and the skipper Shikhar Dhawan desperately scraping around to put 11 on the park, which they finally did, of course. But this series is over. India have done reasonably well, and all eyes soon will be on the tests in England.
Good to have you with us, Charu, and Al, you as well. I didn't realise we were doing Olympic medal bragging rights already, so I would have done a count. So there was a lovely stat between swimming and rowing in the UK. Apparently Maidenhead had more gold medals than Germany. That was the stat that was going around. The one little town in the UK, more medals than Germany. We'll hang on to that for the moment. Right, to kick things off on Stump, though, this week, we are getting fast and furious.
Catherine Brunt is going to bowl. She's coming in now. And that's a good ball. Beats the outside edge.
As Goswami runs in, rangy and tall. As Goswami is in. And Winfrey gets one of the pads, which just evades short leg.
Izzy Wong's stated aim is to become the first woman to bowl 80 miles an hour. She's dedicated herself to bowling fast, which if she pulls it off. Pace is very important in cricket. She runs in with a bleached air. Bowls full on the pads. Clipped away nicely.
There's a slip in place. Tatani, left-hander, struck on the pad, very quick, very full delivery. Ismail likes it. There was some swing there from Ismail.
She's fast. She gets the ball to swing early like that. So it's great to see her pitching up, searching for swing and looking to take wickets.
Probably the quickest bowler in the women's game.
Well, those are just some of the fastest bowlers in the women's game. No female cricketer has bowled quicker than 80 miles per hour since records began. But could we soon see that barrier broken? Now, later in the programme, we'll discuss the fascination in sport around being the fastest and how to get quicker. But first, let's speak to a speed machine of the game. You heard her mentioned in that clip, South Africa's all-time leading wicket taker and one of the fastest female bowlers in the world, Shabnim Ismail, currently playing in the 100 for Oval Invincibles. Tell us, first of all, about you. And when did you decide you wanted to be a cricketer, and did you immediately know that fast bowling would be your forte?
Not actually. I actually started off as a soccer player. And at this stage, I loved playing soccer. I was actually the striker. And then when I was about 12 or 13 years old, one of the one of the ladies walked up to me and actually asked me, do I play cricket? And I was like, yes, I do. And we went to the net. And actually from there, that's basically when I started playing cricket. I actually started off as a batsman. I used to hate bowling because I felt like I'm just wasting a lot of energy. So then at the age of about 15, 16, I decided, you know what, let me try bowling. And then I just started loving it. I started bowling as quick as I can. Obviously, as you get older, you start with consistency. You still want to hold the pace, etc. But you know what? I'm just basically at the moment, I'm enjoying my cricket. I just feel like I'm peaking at the moment. Although the age says a different thing, but I'm still enjoying myself, keeping fit and healthy. So I'm looking forward to the career coming up.
Never normally ask people their age, but just remind us, are you 30 now?
I'll take that, actually, but I'm turning 33 this year.
Yeah, there you go. Veteran of the game, but peaking. You're absolutely peaking. Now, I heard that when you were younger, you picked up the nickname Demon pretty quickly, didn't you?
I did actually. I made my first Western Cape team when I was 16 years old. So I was bowling bouncers at that age. So one of the youngsters that I took 5 wickets and broke the bails, she actually went up to my coach and told my coach, she's actually a demon. I do not want to face her anymore.
So what do you think it has been that has helped to make you so fast?
You know what, I'm a very mentally strong person. So if I put my mind to something, I'm a strong believer that I will get there. So one of my goals when I was younger was always to be the quickest in the world. And I think I've reached to a stage. But you know what, as they say, you're getting older, you're going to get slower. I don't believe in that. I firmly believe in if you're young and you're living a healthy lifestyle, you have good goals and you have a good career ahead. I'm a strong believer that, it will work for me. And I think that because I'm this mentally strong person, I believe that the goals that I set out to reach, I will reach it definitely.
And what's the fastest you've been clocked at? I mean, I have read, over the years, 79 mph in a Melbourne Renegades game in the WBBL. Is that the quickest that you know of?
That is the quickest that I know of. Yet more to come. Let me just put it out there.
well, this is what we want to come on to. Do you ever slow down?
Probably when I'm sleeping. Yes, I do love fast cars and I love obviously everything that happens fast in my lifestyle. But I always say that, yes, there's a lot of youngsters coming through that's bowling fast. But it's different to run in and bowl just fast, where you're just running in and bowling fast. Where I'm a strong believer of if you're running fast, if you're bowling fast and you're consistent enough, that's what makes the difference in the game. And that's one thing that I'm trying to do is always try to be consistent and so forth.
Alister, can you see this, when you think of Australia have had a good pedigree of fast bowlers down the years, haven't they? Likes of Sharon Tredrea and Catherine Fitzpatrick. The physiology of bowlers is really what fascinates me.
Catherine Fitzpatrick, I think Shabnim was clocked at 120 Ks also at the MCG, but played in an era when the technology probably didn't help her get a true sense of how fast she could bowl. Your height, you're only 5'5", so we have this idea of fast bowlers being tall and languid and flying into the wicket, but you're 5'5". Does that work in your favour, do you think? Is that an asset, your height?
You know what, when people normally ask me that, I really get sad because you know what, I always speak to the West Indian girls and they're really big and muscular. And I always tell Cornell, you know what, I wish I was just a little bit taller like you and just a little bit more bigger shoulders, because I always tell her, you know what, you're wasting your talent. You're a fast bowler, you're so big and you're muscular, but you're bowling so slow. Please give it to me so I can at least reach like 130 plus by jogging in.
Shabnim, hi, this is Charu Sharma from Bangalore, of course, right now in Sri Lanka, my last day here. But I would like to ask you, first, of course, congratulations on that very fast delivery. Have you said yourself just now, you've been in the arena for 14 years. How have things changed for fast bowlers in terms of training, all the technology, all the methodology? Has there been a big shift?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when I started off playing, like I mentioned earlier as well, like, you know what, I just running now, just like basically like a headless person, just running in with no motivation, no goals. That time you were just basically enjoying it. I'm not saying I'm not enjoying it at the moment. But then obviously you get your personal trainer. I have a bowling coach as well, my mentor as well, which is Henry Williams. He's been with me since 2009. And I think that is basically when my whole cricketing career, or my bowling career actually took a mental shift. And it's really nice because even if I'm in the nets now and something goes wrong, if I don't pick it up myself, I can just basically give him a call, which is really nice. Like, he taught me to be my own bowling coach. So it's really nice going over to different countries, knowing what you can do and what you can't do, and where the small little things are actually happening in your bowling. But I just pick it up so quickly because I've been with him for the past 6-7 years now, which is really good for me.
Would you like to be the first one over 130 if it's some kind of a threshold anyway?
100%. I think that before I actually retire, which is not anytime soon because my coach is probably going to kill me if I do. But yeah, 100%. I mean, I would love to hit the 130 mark. I'm actually working now with my trainer back in South Africa just to get a bit more stronger so I can actually just run in at ease and hopefully break that record. So I'm looking forward to it. Actually, it's nice to set goals for myself going forward. I don't like to always stay where I am. Like I said, I'm 32 years old. I'm always willing to learn and build on new things.
Shabnim, some of the cricketers that have been produced in South Africa, some of the fast bowlers have been absolutely tremendous. As a youngster, how much did they help you as you were coming through?
Actually, I don't think many people know this. I actually started off playing on the streets with Vernon Philander and Buren Hendricks, who is actually playing in the South African team at the moment. So basically then I used to play a lot with the boys. So obviously playing, a lot of people say it's a male-dominated sport. Yes, back then it was, but I firmly believe that it's not actually at the moment. I think the way women has portrayed themselves and how cricket in general has been growing in women's cricket, it just shows that, it took a huge toll and the way we're playing at the moment. And there's always room for improvement going forward, but I think the women's game in general at the moment has been tremendously doing really well for us.
But Dale Steyn wasn't an overly big fast bowler either. Has he been an influence for you?
100%. He's actually still my role model at the moment. They always say he's so skinny, but he bowls as quick as lightning, basically. But yeah, I think what I really picked up from is his aggression. He's a skinny guy. He has a bouncer. We got the exact same slower ball. Well, okay, not the speed exactly, but I'll try and get there someday. But yeah, he's actually my role model. I really look up to him as a fast bowler. So yeah, he was one of my idols growing up.
Shabnim, I'm really interested in what you're saying about the strength needed to bowl fast. Is it all about strength? How much might be in run-up length, arm speed, or does that all simply relate back to strength and physical ability?
Yes. I'm not sure how other bowlers feel about this, but I'm a strong and firm believer of, I don't waste too much energy in my run-up, where in the last 4 steps of my run-up, as I deliver, as that's where all my power comes from. I actually asked my trainer back home, how do I actually bowl so quick? Because I don't understand. Yes, I'm a mentally strong person, but I'm actually not sure how easy. And then what he told me was apparently it's fast twitch fibers that I have. So anything that I do, everything just happens so quickly. And that is one thing I actually learned about myself in the past year. But as I mentioned earlier, for me, it's all about the power and the speed coming towards the crease instead of wasting all your energy on your run-up. Yes, I have a long run-up, but I'm sure you guys have noticed when I run, I'm basically jogging in. But towards the last 3-4 steps of my run-up, that is where I actually explode and use all my power to generate the pace going through the crease.
What about the variation in the size of women's cricket ball? There's quite a tolerance, isn't there, in the diameter of the women's ball? There's a greater degree of tolerance there than there is in a men's ball, i.e. you're more likely to pick up, a variety of men's cricket balls and they'll all feel the same in your hand. And does that make a difference to women's bowling in general, the way that a ball could feel, very different from one match to the next?
100%. I mean, I'll tell you one of my secrets. So when I started off playing, I actually started off bowling with a men's ball because it's much bigger and it's much heavier. So once I used to bowl with that, I used to practice with that a lot in the net. So every time I pick up the ladies' ball, it feels basically like a marble in my hand, which is so small. So that is actually what made me actually run in and actually bowl as quick as I can, because the ladies' ball was feeling so much smaller and lighter than the men's ball, and that actually helped me bowl much quicker and more, obviously. Because the men's ball is so big and the ladies' hands is only so big, obviously. So obviously holding that steam and releasing the ball at ease, it really helped me throughout my cricketing career.
Do you think it would make a difference to the game if that tolerance level was reduced?
100%. I mean, if it does go smaller, I know I'll be hitting 140 probably in the next 3-4 days. So I'd love that.
Right, we'll get on to the ICC, MCC.
Done.
We mentioned at the top that you're playing in the 100 at the moment for Oval Invincibles. How have you found this as a new tournament?
Oh, it really is. I actually bowled my first 10 balls in the second game. It was really tiring, but like I said, fitness levels plays a huge role in this 100, because I mean, it's either 5 balls or it's 10 balls. If you get tired between the 6th and 7th ball, you don't have a choice but to finish actually your 10 balls. So it's really nice coming into the competition where you've been training yourself to actually bowl 5 balls, 10 balls. Yes, it's completely different to obviously bowling only 6 balls, but I mean, it's always nice to have new challenges, and I quite enjoyed it.
And what about the crowd and the platform that the 100 has got here in the UK?
Oh, it's been really amazing. I think for the past 2 games we played, we had such a huge crowd. I think it was one of the record-breaking crowds that actually came to watch the women's game. So I quite enjoyed it. There was times when I was actually on the boundary and I couldn't hear the captain. And I was like, I can't hear you. The crowd is just too loud behind me. But yeah, I think it's been really amazing. And I just hope that the more games we play, the more crowd come in and more fans, obviously. And I'm sure with the whole pandemic that's been happening, a lot of people just happy to be outside and obviously watching sports again.
Shabnim, it's a pleasure always to speak to you and to talk fast bowling in particular. Thanks so much for being with us on Stumped. Enjoy the rest of the 100 first and foremost.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for having me. Cheers.
So that is Shabnim Ismail, fast bowler for Oval Invincibles at the moment, and of course for South Africa. Charu, Al, I'm fascinating listening to her then. She's a real character. We mentioned Jhulan Goswami, we heard, didn't we, in the clip, Charu, at the top of the show, another highly regarded fast bowler who's just under 6 foot. So, it just goes to show that, fast bowlers can come in a variety of shapes and sizes.
Oh, without question. I mean, you look at some of the really fast bowlers. The first name that comes to mind is Malcolm Marshall. He wasn't particularly tall. I think just 5'8" or so, and he could really whip it up. There are a couple of bowlers later. Chetan Sharma may not be the quickest, but he was short, about 5'8". There's even a young bowler for India right now, a lefty seamer that comes in, Chetan Sakaria, who just made his debut here in the White Ball Series in Sri Lanka, and he's 5'6", 5'7" or so. So I mean, there's a large variety in terms of height, but I just wonder if there's an ideal height here. And I think the really tall people, Mohammad Irfan of Pakistan was said to be, 7'1" or something. Wasn't quite the quickest though. But of course, there's a steepling bound. So there's a wide variety. And just like in tennis, for instance, is there an ideal height? I'm not sure, but I'd like to offer a little hypothesis, maybe between 6'2" and 6'4", because then you have the right height, the right size. You need to be very fit, and so many other things need to kick in as well. But I've got to express my amazement. Because here in Sri Lanka, is it just the speed gun or what is it? Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Deepak Chahar, they were all bowling at about 130, 128 at times. Shabnim was 128 sometimes. Unbelievable, because that's really quick for a woman. Because even in the England series, India, the women playing, the English women, I think they were all around about 106, 108, 110 max. So 128 is really something.
Yeah, she is quick, and I'm sure there's also some atmospheric conditions maybe that help with fast bowling too. That's the physics of it all. Well, that's all we've got time for on this week's Stumped here on All India Radio. My thanks to Charu Sharma, Alister Nicholson, and to all of you for listening. Don't forget you can keep in touch with us throughout the week. We're at BBCWS Sport on Twitter and use the hashtag BBC Stumped. In the meantime, stay safe and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Stumped is a BBC sport production for the BBC World Service in association with the Australian Broadcasting Corporation and All India Radio.